Wilson not indicted for shooting Michael Brown. We have a recap of events on the ground, student reaction, and a talk with a resident of Ferguson on our own campus.
Seasonal depression, what you may not realize about the disease. We have a doctor in studio to tell us more.
Another All-American athlete. He's in the studio to tell us what went through his mind as he made ELN history.
You're getting an early look at the sunrise over the station at Mill Point this morning.
Good morning, ELN. And first up today, our Jasmine Turner is in the studio with what you need to know about the tense situation going on in Ferguson, Missouri right now. Jasmine?
They determined that no probable cause exists to file any charge against Officer Wilson and returned a no true bill on each of the 5 indictments.
That is St. Louis prosecuting attorney Robert McCulloch reading the decision, saying white police officer Darren Wilson will not be indicted for shooting an unarmed black man, Michael Brown, back in August. We have 5 seconds.
Guys, we're starting from the top of the show.
ELN Morning, police officer Darren Wilson not indicted for shooting Michael Brown. We have a recap of events on the ground, student reaction, and a talk with a resident of Ferguson on our own campus.
Seasonal depression, what you may not realize about the disease. We have a doctor in studio to tell us more.
Another All-American athlete. He's in the studio to tell us what went through his mind as he made ELN history.
Good morning. You're getting an early look at the sunrise over the station at Mill Point this morning.
Good morning, ELN. And first up today, our Jasmine Turner is in the studio with what you need to know about the tense situation going on in Ferguson, Missouri right now. Jasmine?
That no probable cause exists to file any charge against Officer Wilson and returned a no true bill on each of the 5 indictments.
Thanks, Paige. That is St. Louis prosecuting attorney Robert McCulloch reading the decision, saying white police officer Darren Wilson will not be indicted for shooting an unarmed black man, Michael Brown, back in August. Reactions erupted almost immediately. According to St. Louis County Police, 61 people were arrested in Ferguson overnight, with 21 people arrested in St. Louis. As you can see, some protesters looted, started fires, and fought with police. The Ferguson Fire Department said it responded to more than 25 structural fires last night, as damage continues to be assessed this morning. Peaceful protests also took place throughout the evening, stretching beyond Ferguson to cities like New York City, Boston, Seattle, Chicago, and Tallahassee, among other cities. Here on campus, students are gathering this morning at College Coffee as well, and our Gary Grumbach will be there later this morning. President Obama spoke late last night, saying the decision ultimately rests with the grand jury, and he asked Americans to protest peacefully.
First and foremost, we are a nation built on the rule of law. And so we need to accept that this decision was the grand jury's to make. There are Americans who agree with it, and there are Americans who are deeply disappointed, even angry. It's an understandable reaction.
ELN Jr. and Ferguson resident Mia Watkins joins us today. After the grand jury decision, Watkins actually joined us on ELN Local News back in September after she spoke on ELN's Lessons of Ferguson panel. So thank you again for being here today. I know this is a tough time, so we appreciate you waking up with us this morning. So first things first, you live in Ferguson, your family is still in Ferguson. How are they?
I feel like we're a bit shaken up a little bit of everything that's been happening. I feel like there's a lot of mixed emotions everywhere.
Are they safe?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Okay, that's important. Good. And this timing is interesting because we are going on break this week. Are you going home to Ferguson this week? And what are your feelings about that?
I ultimately really prayed and hoped that the decision would be said a little bit later or earlier, not as so close to Thanksgiving. going back, I really hope to see my family, also to see the neighborhood that I come from and see how it's been, and just sort of have a recollection of all that's been happening. Because I was there for when it all began, and I've been in ELN for the majority of the protests, and I'm coming back right after the decision's been made. So it's been a very strange timeline of events that's been going on.
So you have not been home since the unrest really began?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So what's going through your mind? What's your perspective on this, being a Ferguson resident, but also being somewhat removed from your hometown in this time when your community is going through turmoil?
My heart is broken for my community, for all that's been happening. I know there wasn't really a true winner on both sides. It was a very difficult situation. But I know for a lot of people, this decision meant a lot more in a negative construct than what they would have hoped. Going back, I really hope to reach out to family and friends to see how they're doing, and to really hope to use my talents to record what's been going on there in my own words, and to sort of share that with the world, and to also just, try to shed a positive light on everything, because I felt like, unfortunately, things had to break down in order to reveal what was underneath the surface. But because everything's broken down, we have the opportunity to build things back up again. It's just going to take a long time, but we got to figure out how we can channel our passions and our emotions to really create something that's substantial, worthwhile for the next generation after that.
An appropriately thankful perspective that you have for this season. So is there anything that you want us to know before we head to break that you as a Ferguson resident think the Elon community should know?
Just if the Elon community could look at everything from all perspectives, whether it's news, whether it's through the paper, through other people, through rumors, through witnesses, just try to observe what you see and digest what you see, and sort of take a step back. That's what I have to learn throughout this whole process. I was seeing all these things and I was nervous, but I was hearing different things back at home, so I had to just take a step back. So many different
messages.
And just really look at the whole picture as a whole.
Right, exactly, and form opinions and perspectives knowledgeably. So, and we thank you for helping people do that here at Elon, because you have a really unique and perspective that I think is really going to improve the Elon community, and I'm thankful for you coming on the show today and being on our campus. So thank you. We're going to head to break now, but when we come back, we'll have your weather forecast for the holidays and how the change in season might actually affect your mental health. We'll be right back. College coffee is happening across campus right now, and Gary Grumbach is at Phi Beta Kappa Commons as students respond to last night's announcement. Gary?
Thanks, guys. I'm here in Phi Beta Kappa Plaza during college coffee. There's members of AFFECT here, other organizations, and there are people wearing black. This all started because of the social movement, as most social movements are. They are started on social media. Students got together last night to have a meeting after hearing the news of the Michael Brown case, and they decided to all wear black, come to college coffee, and write on whiteboards hashtag Black Lives Matter, hashtag Who is Next, and hashtag Fix the System. Now, members of AFFECT and other organizations are going to be taking pictures, and they're going to be posting them on social media. They expect a full event to be happening after Thanksgiving break. Ashley, back to you.
Out there where Gary's at, it's about 60 degrees. Throughout the rest of the day, there's a high of 61, not getting much higher, and a low of 43 with a 20% chance of rain, as many of you heard. As many of you head home for Thanksgiving, today or tomorrow, you may wonder what the weather looks like for your traveling over the holiday weekend. Here with your national weather report is our own Ryan Green, coming to us from downtown Elon. Let's see what some of you can expect for your hometowns this Thanksgiving.
Good morning, Paige and Ashley. You know, it's looking a little gloomy out here right now because of that rain we're expecting later today. And I'm not gonna lie, it's making things a little bit chilly right now. But luckily for those Elon students staying in North Carolina for Thanksgiving break, that warmer weather from earlier this week should be making a comeback. So let's take a look. Throughout most of the state, it's going to hover in the high 40s to low 50s for the rest of the week, then warm up into the 60s for the weekend. Not too bad for the middle of November. But what about for those of you from outside of North Carolina? Well, about 10% of Elon students are from Massachusetts, and if you're shipping up to Boston, better pack that winter coat. It'll only be in the high 30s for the week with some chance of snow. Your weekend isn't looking much warmer, only the low to mid 40s. As for me, you know, I'm heading home to Maryland, and if you're like me and haven't packed yet, you might want to add your snow boots to your carry-on. We might get some flurries tomorrow. Maryland weather is only in the high 30s and low 40s for the week, with the weekend barely reaching the high 40s, low 50s. Working our way south, if you're one of the many ELN students from Georgia, well, I'm a little bit jealous of the weather you'll be having back home. While there's a chance of rain today and tomorrow, your week will be in the 50s and your weekend will hit 60 degrees. That's just a little bit of the national weather you guys can find this week. Paige and Ashley, back to you guys.
As December approaches and temperatures continue to drop, this seasonal change sometimes comes a different kind of depression, seasonal depression. Here to discuss the issue is ELN physician Dr. Jeanette Archinal, and so thank you so much for being here
My
today.
pleasure. Thank you.
So what's the cause of seasonal depression?
Well, it's literally what it says. It's a change in the seasons. It doesn't have to be just going into winter and fall. There's actually a variety that occurs in summer as well.
Okay, so it's any seasonal change. 'Cause I always thought it was to do with the weather and the coldness kind of.
It's actually to do with changes in dark and light.
Okay.
Which is why it can be summer for some people as well.
Right, and what are some of the effects that happen based on the seasonal depression? What can people expect if they, what are some of the symptom signs that they're looking for?
It is a true depression, but it's what we call a sort of more lethargic type of depression. So it's almost hibernation, and it is definitely more common in winter. So people feel more tired, difficulty getting out of bed, tend to eat a lot of comfort food, a lot of carbs, that sort of thing.
And I feel like around the holiday season, people sometimes don't even recognize it as depression sometimes. They might just, think, so is there, is it easy to recognize in people, or is it one of those kind of hidden things? Or?
Well, I think people often think it's just the stress of the holidays if we're in the Northern Hemisphere. But generally, it's clearly depression, and it has to happen every year. That's the thing. If it happens to you once, it's not seasonal affective disorder. If it happens year after year, you know it is. And one thing that people forget is if your vitamin D is low, which can also happen in winter, that will make you more prone to seasonal affective disorder.
All right. And so what are some of the resources that ELN students can go to if they feel like this is a problem that they're having? What are some of the resources?
Best resource is certainly go to counseling. There are lots of good websites that talk about seasonal affective disorder. Come and see us in student health. This is not something that necessarily needs medication. We know that exercising helps seasonal affective disorder. We know that light therapy helps. Get your vitamin D checked.
Right.
There are a lot of things you can actually do that don't involve medication.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being with
My
us
pleasure.
today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Appreciate it. Now, what about these people who suffer from depression all year long? Our Corey Shegda spoke with 2 students who deal with depression every day in their daily lives.
It can be completely fine, and then something minute could set me off and I'll go into a deep spiral.
First year Alex Rudler is bipolar and has clinical depression. Senior Jan Erickson struggles with bipolar 2 disorder, some days going from complete happiness to severe depression.
Sometimes there are days when, you need to go to class and you can't get out of bed.
They both say they aren't themselves when they're depressed, something those without depression don't understand.
You're a darker form of who you really are, and that can scare people that really care about you.
Rudler has known since he was little that he's had depression. He's taken antidepressants for years.
Sometimes it feels like the whole world's against you. It feels like there's a pit in your stomach that you can't get rid of.
Erickson says this feeling is something students can't just ignore.
And I learned in the past that if I don't put my mental health first, then everything else kind of falls down around it.
Beyond medication, Erickson says what helps her get through it all is starting a conversation.
Anything you can do to start talking about it and kind of break that silence makes a world of difference.
But Erickson and Rudler both say fighting depression is something they have to work at every day.
You just need to work through the single moment and take it one day at a time.
I know that I'm never going to be perfect. I'm never going to be completely free of making mistakes, but I know that I will always have the ability to learn from those mistakes.
If you or anyone you know needs help, call ELN Counseling Services in the Health Center on South Campus. Counseling services open from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. You can also make an appointment at 336-278-7280.
Now, we've discussed some really tough topics this morning, important but tough topics. So we're going to turn to something a little lighter for a second. Thanksgiving is just 2 days away, and luminaries will be here before you know it. And later in the show, we have a special singing group coming into the studio to commemorate the holidays.
And as we head into break, we ask students what they are thankful for this Thanksgiving as they head home for the holiday.
I'm thankful for the community here at ELN. It's so supportive, and it's a great part to be a part of.
Well, I'm really thankful for like the small things in life, like being able to go home, spend time with some family for a few days, and stuffing.
I'm thankful for my friends.
My friends, my family, for being at ELN, and for the fact that I'm gonna see my aunt and my sister this Thanksgiving.
A cross-country standout set a school record this weekend, and our Justin Beagle is live with him in studio right now. Justin?
That's right, Ashley. I'm here with senior cross-country runner Luis Vargas, who finished 25th in the NCAA National Cross Country Championship in Indiana this past weekend. He finished a 10-kilometer race in 30 minutes, 45 seconds, making him ELN's first All-American runner in school history. He entered Saturday's race having not lost a meet this season and will graduate holding the program's top times in both the 8K and the 10K. So, Luis, thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome to Studio A. And now I know when you were crossing that finish line, there must have been an overwhelming number of emotions going through your mind. What was actually on your mind when you crossed the finish line?
You know, I wanted to come to this race with no regrets, and you know, at the end of the finish line, at the end of the race, you know, I ran my heart out. You know, I was very proud of that, but you know, every time you think back on it, you know, there's always little things you wish you could have done differently, but overall, I'm very satisfied with my race. My coach is happy, my school is happy. I'm just happy I could share all those moments with my family and friends.
In preseason and summer workouts, did you ever think that you can make it this far, that you would make it all the way up to the NCAA National Championship?
It's always been a goal of mine to do that. Since last year being 22nd at regionals, I didn't think I'd have the success I've had this year, but once I met our new coach, Nick Polk, I mean, he's an incredible guy, and just talking to him what his workouts would be, you know, I knew that there was going to be success this year.
You've told me multiple times that your family means so much to you, and they're a great support system through all of this. What was it like to see them once you crossed the finish line and just share that moment with them?
I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, they support me so much in every race. They always wish they could be at every race, and just to have them there at a national meet, I think was incredible. They loved it, every second of it, and I was just so happy for them to be there.
Now, you've been interviewed several times this semester by myself, other members of ELN's news crew. What's the one question that you have not been asked that you kind of want the ELN audience to know about you?
I just, you know, really just want the ELN audience just to know that I'm so thankful for them, especially leading up to my national race. They were a lot of tweets, a lot of Facebook messages from, you know, not just my teammates in the athletic community, but also from my teachers, my classmates. And I mean, it's just amazing when you know you have that kind of support in a big race like that.
Well, congratulations again on winning 25th place. And now we're going to toss it back over on to Ashley and Paige, guys.
Thanks, guys. And for this week's App of the Week, our Corey Shegda has something that can help you keep track of your most valuable items. Now, what do you have for us, Corey?
Paige, I don't know about you, but I always lose my stuff. That's why I suggest this app for everybody. It is called Tile, and it serves as a GPS device. I can hook it or stick it to any item. Personally, I keep mine on my Phoenix card. Now, once you have the Tile attached to your item, you have to download the Tile app. Now, this allows you to see exactly where each device is, but that isn't even the best part. If your item is buried under clothes or hidden under somewhere in your apartment, you can use this sound. There we go. To locate it, as long as you're within a 100-foot radius. The Tile app can keep track of 8 tiles at once, and they are waterproof, and it lasts for an entire year. The creators are even working on a new feature where you will be able to share your tile information with someone else, so your roommate, your parents, or your friends can help you find your lost item. Now, each tile costs about $20, but to put that into perspective, this app keeps me from losing my Phoenix card, which costs $25 to replace. That is definitely a cost I am willing to pay. With your App of the Week, I'm Corey Shegda.
Thanks, Corey. Now, the Tile app may help keep track of your stuff, but who's keeping tabs on your Thanksgiving dinner? I headed off campus to a local turkey farm as they prep for Thanksgiving. Check it out. We are just 2 days away from Thanksgiving. And of course, turkey. And while you may be used to turkeys from a big corporate company all wrapped up in a store,
At Evewood Lane Farms, these turkeys are locally grown.
with a face only a mother would love, these turkeys are raised about 15 minutes from Elon's campus. Beth Lehman owns and operates the farm and says she loves sharing her home with the turkeys.
But the best part is they're just really amusing, and they, yeah, the noises that they make and the way that they live out on the grass. I wouldn't want to raise them any other way.
But although she enjoys raising these birds, she says she can't get too attached.
That's the hard part. I mean, it's fun. I like having them all be one breed so that I can't really tell them apart. And we don't name them.
And it seems like every time we mentioned the upcoming holiday, the turkeys had something to say.
I don't feel so attached that I can't let them go at Thanksgiving. Oh, they heard that.
But Lehman says it's about more than her passion for raising animals. It's about access to quality food.
Unless you know the farm where it's raised and know that they're outside, they're probably not outside. They're probably crammed in small spaces, and that's not healthy for the animal or for the consumer.
And although Elon's campus will be empty for the holidays, Lehman and her family are staying on the farm.
So we'll have a little turkey.
Paige Peroso, Elon Local News. Okay, and we're going to toss to Gary Grumback at College Coffee. He's an interview for us. Let's go to him.
Hey guys, so thank you guys for joining us today. Really appreciate it. Tell us a little bit about what's going on here at College Coffee.
Yeah, so after the Ferguson announcement last night, today, when I got like, it was the break, so we decided to have a solidarity. I'll see you later, Paul.
So what kind of effect do you think that will have on you on the community?
I think there's going to be a lot to talk about, which is something that is really good at. We do a lot with a lot of critical time.
We're sorry for those technical difficulties. I really want to hear what Gary had to say, but we'll let you know later. We're going to go to break right now, so we will be right back.
Welcome back, and Elon's Camerata Group is here with us in the studio, so thanks so much for being here, everyone.
That's right. Meredith takes any chance she can to sing on this show. She was here the other week, too. So what have you guys been up to this semester?
Well,
well, that's a big question.
And we've been preparing ever since August for our holiday concert that's going to take place on December 2nd. And we're looking forward to that, so we're in our final rehearsals for it.
Well, I know you guys sound beautiful always. I look forward to the show. So if we
We
hear
get
a song,
a sneak preview. That's
okay,
right.
no, ELN Morning's got it. So we can hear a song from you?
Absolutely.
All
Great.
right.
Okay, I'll give you one more microphone. Boom. Too many people here. There you go.
Deck the halls with bells of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol, fa la 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 la. See the blazing Yule before us, fa la 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 la. Strike the harp and join the chorus, fa la 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 la. Follow me in merry measure, la 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 la. While I tell of Yuletide treasure, la 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 la.
Thank you guys
Woo!
so much.
Woo!
I love the holiday cheer.
I know. We're not even at Thanksgiving. We're already to Christmas. I love it.
But
I'm on board
it's
with
the last show before the holidays.
This
We
is
had to
true.
get it in. We had to get the Christmas season in.
It's great. Holiday season. Let's
Holiday,
keep
sorry,
track.
excuse me,
Come on,
holiday
come on,
season.
come on.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Great. So do we have another song from them? Yeah, we're going to hear another song.
All right, but
Awesome.
before we go, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and make sure to
That's
check
great.
us out on Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah, you know the drill, right? Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and will you sing us out, please? Great. Thank you.
We also, if you guys are interested, 7:30 Whitley, December 2nd, next Tuesday. That's when our concert is. Be there. It's going to be amazing.
Shameless plugs.
We three kings of Orient are, bearing gifts we traverse afar, field and fountain, moor and mountain, following yonder star. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light.
Fabulous. Again, fabulous. Okay. We got the garland. I'm ready to go. That's good. Okay, so you guys are, tell us about that concert one more time so that we can know.
So next Tuesday, December 2nd at 7:30 in Whitley Auditorium. We're going to be there performing a bunch of songs, both Christmas and other holiday traditions as well.
Great, including everybody. I love it. I love it. And now, Meredith, are you coming on again next year to sing? What's going on? Jeez.
I want every show I want you to sing.
All the holidays.
Every
She
single
had
time.
Veterans Day. Now she's got Thanksgiving, Christmas. I love
I'm
it.
ready to go. Whatever you need me to do, I'm happy. Just give me
A woman of all talents. I love it.
Yes, it's good. No more prompters, only music sheets.
Yeah, so there's going to be singing and music and reading, and it's a big holiday tradition that happens, the night after Luminaries. So it's just part of the Elon tradition. So we'd love it if everyone would come out and support us. And it's a free concert, and look forward to seeing you there.
Great. All right, awesome. And we'll put that on our website too. So, yeah, well, that's all we're at. You want to sing us a few notes and then we'll head to break? How about that?
Sure.
You guys think you're out, and I'm like, can you sing again? Can you sing again, please? I want to hear more. Okay, great.
Sure.
A few more notes and then
Yes.
we'll do. All right, great.
More up our sleeve.
Yabba bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom. Yabba bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom. Yabba bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom. Yabba bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom. Yabba bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom. Yabba bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom. Yabba bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom. Yabba bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom. Yabba bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom bim bom. Yabba bim bom 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 bim bom. Yabba bim bom 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 b Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong.